Good morning, We Teach the Basics family. I'm back again, Miss Monica, but you can call me Teach. I am so excited. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, and guess what? It's Earth Day, one of my favorite days of the entire year. We know that the coronavirus, and yes, it's still with us, is teaching us how to take care of ourselves and our hygiene and different ways that we had to before. And we want to stay healthy, but today is a day that we can think about ways we can continue to help keep the earth healthy. There's so much pollution in our oceans and our lands that affect our wildlife and our sea life. But one benefit of the coronavirus and the pandemic is that with the human activity being decreased, there are areas that have suffered from pollution in the air that are now seeing better numbers than they've ever seen before. And so we are so happy about that because we live on this earth, we only have one earth, and we certainly have to know how to take care of it and keep it healthy. There have also been reports that animals that have been in captivity and animals that are even out in the wild are beginning to flourish because of the lack of human activity. And it's important for us to be able to preserve those species as well as the human species because we're all one big ecosystem. We're all working together. So I just want to take a few minutes to share with you some tips today for help for homeschooling on how you can celebrate Earth Day while you're still in quarantine. Behind me, you'll see all kinds of items that I've had because one thing I love to do is I love to upcycle. We know that one thing we can do is we can certainly recycle, and that means that we're taking products that can be used again, and you may be able to take them to your local municipality and they be recycling. But an even better thing to do is what we call upcycling. This is the reuse and recycle. So I have with you some things that over the years and recently I have upcycled. We like to eat nuts in our house, and what I found, these are wonderful containers. So for these, I just stripped the paper off. And in this particular one, it was still silver, very nice, so I didn't do anything else with it. And as you can see, I'm using it as a pen holder. But I also have some tools around, and this is called washi tape, I believe. And so what I did was with the tape, I decorated the lid. I just used some paint. It has messages of hope and faith, like faith and trust God. And that's what we need to do in a time like this. Faith and trust in God, and decorated it. And so now I have a very nice container that I can put knickknacks in. Another idea in a way that you can upcycle is you can take any ordinary box. I know some of you have probably gone through a lot of cereal while you've been home, but you can take a cereal box or a box like this and cut it out, and it makes a really nice storage box. While I've been home, I've had a time to go through my recipe books, and so right now I'm just using this as a temporary storage holder until I can make a more permanent place. But what I've also done is one thing I love to do is I love to do, crossword puzzles. And what I've done is sometimes when I don't have a chance to do them, I will just cut them out. And they were stacking up. So I thought to myself, wow, I could take a box. And as you can see, I've used some of the crossword puzzles that I didn't have time to do. And I just used those, a method called Day-COVID-19. And now I have a nice little storage box for my puzzles. So when I've got time, I can just grab one out and do one. We all know by now we should have plenty of paper towel holders and toilet paper rolls left over. So I have a 2-year-old grandson, and he loves the song where he can praise God and sing hallelujah. And they have little circles on them. So what I do is I just cut the toilet paper roll in half, and I cut this out of some cardboard. I had googly eyes because I have lots of arts and crafts, but even if you don't, I'll show you how you can make your own little smiley face. And now this cute little guy that he can hold in his hand and sing his song with, it also stands up. Another thing that I've learned to use is we all use plastic utensils sometimes. So after we've used them, I'll wash them. And I thought, wow, I'm teaching him his shapes and I'm helping him learn his colors. And so this, because some of us ladies still wear pantyhose. So I just took the cardboard from the pantyhose because it's just sturdy enough, nice and thin, but still has some solidness to it. And I drew out shapes for him. And these googly eyes, I just use a nice white paper and black marker. Same thing here. And then I cut out the shapes. And on the back, I put the name of the shapes on them so he can learn the shapes. And these are so nice. They're easy to hold just with toddler's hands. And this is just with using things that I have right around the house that you probably have too. Also, we'll come back to you later. Lots of food that we eat come in jars. So one of my favorite things to upcycle are glass jars. Take a glass jar, and what I've done is I had some tissue paper around from gifts I may have received. And since I'm teaching my godson shapes again, I use the tops, all different size tops, which of course we know is the shape of a circle. All different shapes and sizes from tops. And I just use them with just magic marker. And here, I love clear containers because you can store all kinds of things in them and you can easily see what's inside. So just using basic magic markers, or if you have crayons, even a pen, and I use that to trace the circles and cut them out. And because tissue paper is so clear, when you put a nice light coat of glue, you can take some regular glue and water it down just enough so that it sticks. If you don't have decoupage glue, and you can adhere it onto the jar. And also, you can use this for lots of purposes. You use your imagination to think about what you can use it for. So for this particular one, I made this around Christmas time. That's why it's these particular colors. And it says shine on. And with a flameless candle, I drop it in. And I've got a little light. And if I want it to be brighter, I can put more in. Or once you create a whole lot of them and put a whole lot of them together, it makes a really nice way to light up your table or just a little special place. The next item I want to show you is this little box right here. I was getting ready to throw it away. It was a party favor from a party I went to before the coronavirus, of course. And then I stopped and thought to myself, wow, it's purple and it's a square. So instead of me throwing it away, or when I say throw it away, I mean recycle it, because that's what I do. I recycle paper and glass and plastic. But I thought, wow, this would be a great size and another little shape for my grandson because it's a square. So now I've used another purpose for it. And I could, if I wanted to, I could decorate it with stickers or letters. Teach him his ABCs, his 1, 2, 3s, even though he already knows them, backwards and forwards in some cases. So here it's like any box that you have. I'm gonna upcycle this because what shape is this? This is a rectangle, and so I'm gonna shape this, and then I'll be able to use this to help him again with another shape. It's a rectangle, or again, you could cut it out and use it for something even smaller that you wanted to hold on to. So I have some masks for my face that I found, and if I cut this down, this would be a perfect little box just to store those masks in. And as I said, yes indeed, coronavirus is still with us. So I have my mask ready whenever I'm ready to go out. And just a reminder, COVID-19, we have to use all of our tools and things that help us stay healthy and the earth too. And by the way, another thing we want to do is when we have our gloves and our masks, we want to make sure that we are disposing of them properly. It really hurts my heart when I take my walk and I see how there are gloves and masks laying in the street. Part of keeping ourselves healthy, others healthy, and the earth healthy is we have to make sure we properly dispose of the items we're using to keep them safe. When we use our hand sanitizer bottles, if we don't want to refill them, make sure you're recycling them. And our gloves need to go in the trash as well as our masks. See? Little rhyme. All right, I'm almost done. This you'll see here is a jar, is a can. I'll get it and bring it closer in so you can see it. This is a little treat that I like to have. I love these luxury wafers. They're very light and just a little treat every now and then. But what I really liked about this can is it's made of metal. And so this makes a really nice container as well. So I had some masking tape. I'm sorry, duct tape. This is duct tape. And I had some electrical tape and I had some painter's tape. And because all of the colors that I had were also the colors in my kitchen, and my son, who is an artist, and I'm going to show you one of his pieces in a moment, and as another way of which you can upcycle, bought for me some new spoons to cook with. You know, they do most of the cooking. And because he's an artist and he works at a place where he can do his creativity, he just did some designs on some of them. I'm trying to find one. There we go. He did some designs on the spoons to kind of personalize it for me, and he put my name on them, our name on, family name on them, and he also put some words on some of them. But what I did was with all those different tapes, the same jar, the same container, I upcycled, and I just used a pattern that I thought would work. It works in our kitchen. These are the colors in our kitchen. And so now I transformed this can, a can like this can rather that looks like this, into a nice holder for my wooden spoons. And so I never had to look for them. They're right there, and this container matches our kitchen. And hint, hint, Mother's Day is just around the corner. So think about ways and things that you can upcycle to make a nice Mother's Day gift. And as a mom of 4 and a grandmother of 3, I know I can appreciate a handmade gift over a store-bought gift anytime, even though I won't turn away the store-bought gift either. All right, and so now I want to show you, as I said, my son's an artist. He's very creative. He's always trying new things. So one of the places we like to go to is to a place like what we have in our area, the Goodwill store or any kind of thrift store, and we'll buy albums. So what my son did was he bought some albums. This one is from Decca, and I don't know, it's somebody named The World of Charlie Kuntz. Have no idea who he is. But what my son did was he found out a way to take an album, and he used some kind of heat. I think he may have put it in the oven. I'm not sure. But anyway, he turned this into a dish. And so now, with that same dish, I use it as something to store. So right now I just have some fruit to show you how you can use this as a dish. And let me get back there for a moment. Okay. The last couple of things I want to show you. Remember I mentioned those paper towels earlier? Paper towel rolls? Well, what I did was I turned this into a rain stick for my grandbaby, or something that we can make like a maraca. And what gave me this idea was I had some lentils. They're really small legumes. And I made a mistake and I spilled some on the floor. And as I was sweeping them up, I thought to myself, wow, I don't want to throw them away. So what I could do is I could use them again. And I just put them inside of the paper towel holder. I took the duct tape and I followed the pattern on the paper towel. You can see right there. And I had another color duct tape that was complimentary. And I just put them inside and I decorated it. And this is plastic bags, and most places plastic bags can't be recycled anymore because of the damage they do to recycling machines. So that's oftentimes why, at least in our area, we can't put our bags in recycling. We cannot recycle our bags. I'm sorry. But there are other ways that you can use them. So I thought, wow, this would make a cool like little flame type thing. And I just adhered it with a rubber band and took this in and just kind of tucked it inside. So it gives it kind of like a flame kind of look to it. And now, musical instrument. And not just, this could be used for anybody, anywhere. If you have children at home, or you in school or at camp, it's an easy way to make a musical instrument. And I think last, probably not least, but for today, this is a sculpture that my son made a long time ago. And he took some puzzle pieces, because we all know we have puzzles sometimes and the pieces get lost. And what do you do when all the pieces are gone? He spray painted the pieces different shades of black and gray and white. And he put them on, and now he created a sculpture. And I think on this side, he just decided he wanted to be colorful. So here's another way that you could use some things that are right around your house. You got some old puzzle pieces and you can create a sculpture. And he painted his, but you could certainly use the puzzle pieces as they are and just rearrange them. You can paste them around a board. You can cut out a circle and make a picture frame. So all kinds of things you can do. Remember, the biggest thing is to use your imagination. So, with this said, I hope that you will have a great Earth Week. Some ideas on how you can take today's lesson and extend it into other lessons is you can also talk about pollution and the sciences. And for math, you can look at how much pollution in terms of numbers are found in different oceans. Through geography, you can look at that as well. Pollution around the world. You can look at how the pandemic has reduced pollution around the world. You can also talk about songs that people have made up for coronavirus as you're looking for music. All of this certainly are arts. Some of the words that I used today that you can look up as language arts words as well, pollution and the pandemic and the impact. So there are all kinds of ways that you can extend today, Earth Day, as a lesson. I know for our young people at our church, we're so excited because on Friday we're going to have an art expo, a virtual art expo. So all of our young people are home, I hope, and they're working on their designs for art, and we're going to have a virtual expo to celebrate Earth Day. I want you to put in your comments at We Teach the Basics some ideas that you've thought of how you can celebrate Earth Day, ways that you and your young people can upcycle. Please take some pictures and feel free to post them on We Teach the Basics on Facebook. And we will look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget, get outside, get some air. You got gloves on, you might want to pick up some trash and help the earth stay healthy, and you too do too. Remember, stay home, stay healthy, stay here. Until next time, bye.